Welcome back, Andy Mineo. We're here 1 year later, back here at the scene of the crime. Last year is when you announced that you signed with Reach Records.
Yeah.
And here we are a year later, back here at Legacy Conference in Chicago. It's been a whirlwind of a year for you, huh?
It's been insane. Yeah, to say the least.
Is it what you expected? Is it what you anticipated? Is it everything you would dreamed it would be?
So I wasn't anticipating the response I'd get. I didn't know Formerly Known was going to come out and do what it did and go on tour. A few tours, one on the Rehab tour with Lecrae, and just, you know, social media stuff started to blow up, and it's like, didn't realize how quickly this platform would be given. You know, I went from having like 2,000 followers on Twitter to that, like, you know, blowing in its span of a year to where it's at now, and it's like, dang, all these people put their ears and eyes on you really quickly, and you gotta be like, whoa, what do you do with this? So, yeah, interesting. It's different, you know. Last year I could walk the halls here. This year it's just like get stopped continually, and so it's just like, man, just a year ago, you know, I didn't have to, or it wasn't like this. So, really interesting.
So, you know, especially mentioning the, you know, the growth and the expansion on the social media side, you even, the pressure got to you at least seemingly at one point where you even wrote in the song Pressure, signed to the Reach camp, expectations increase, and why is everybody scrutinizing what I'm tweeting?
Yeah.
Aside from the spelling or grammatic, you know, with the grammar issues that used to plague you on Twitter, I mean, is it?
They still plague me. I am the biggest typo machine on Twitter ever. It's the worst.
I mean, do you find that you don't tweet as much, or you don't tweet stuff that you would normally say because scrutiny is just going to come?
Absolutely, absolutely. So I've had to create personal pages and personal things that I can express or talk about, you know, personal Facebooks and stuff where my name has changed a little bit so people can't find it. So I can just actually, oh, I know you on my timeline. Oh, it's actually information that is valuable to me because you're my friend. It's been really weird. Even relationships with friends back home have begun to change. The dynamic has shifted, and it's really kind of whack in some ways. I never expected it that like certain friends would start to feel certain ways when you know what I'm saying, when you're not able to get back to them because you're traveling, or you know how all of a sudden, I don't know, just dynamics of relationships change, and now they exalt you in some way, and that's not good. Or here's one that I've had to deal with is like accountability, right? Like I've had to talk with my pastor and other people about this, like, to check me more often. But because I have a platform and I'm seen in a particular light, sometimes it's I can be they won't ask me the hard questions sometimes because they're like, I have favor, unmerited favor with them, really. So, you know, just stuff like that. It's been really difficult for me because I need the same accountability and hard questions and stuff that anybody else does asked in order to, you know, help me stay healthy spiritually and stuff like that. So it's been interesting watching friends around me, you know, change a little bit. But I'm so grateful for my home community. Christ Crucified Fellowship and just the guys that I live with who have been really, you know, helpful. Now
talk to us a bit about you know, Christ Crucified Fellowship. Now, is that the church plant that you're a part of with Rich Perez?
Yeah, so we planted a church in Washington Heights. Me and Rich Perez, he was on Saturday Morning Cartoons. One of my boys, he was on Michael Jackson. Dope rapper, he's my pastor. Planted Christ Crucified Fellowship in Washington Heights. ChristCrucifiedNYC.org is where you can check out what's going on. But really dope church plant, man. We meet in a boxing gym. One of our members owns a boxing gym that closed on Sunday, so we get in there on Sundays, and we started in January in that spot, and we've grown to about 100 people on a Sunday now. So it's just rapidly growing. Small groups are expanding. You know, our small groups during the weekdays have multiplied, and they're going to continue to do that. So it's been really dope, man, seeing that, and you know, my community that I live in is being transformed slowly, which is so fresh.
That's dope. You know, seeing, you know, getting in the messiness of life and doing life together and growing. How have you had to deal with the balance? Because in off interview conversations, I hear so many artists talk about the struggle of wanting to be connected at their local church, but got to be on the road. How have you dealt with that? Like, how do you handle that kind of pressure and that just longing? When you're on the road traveling as much as you do now.
Well, I made kind of a pact with my pastor, and we spoke through what would be most healthy for me as a traveling. Like, clearly the Lord has called me to do this full time, but I also don't want to neglect my home community, because I think there's so much value in that, just to keep me grounded and to, you know, be around people that I can share my life with on a regular basis. So I try to only miss one Sunday a month. Meaning I'm taking the earliest flight back on Sundays, and I literally, if you ask people at my church, I come into church with all my bags because I'm coming straight from the airport, just to make sure that I'm there. But that's going to actually have to change soon with touring going on and stuff. But I try to be there as much as possible, and then throughout the week, I lead a small group on Tuesdays, and so that's another way that I'm able to like serve my church. So I'm not able to serve as much on Sundays, but midweek is when I'm able to kind of give my time and talents to benefit my community, and, you know, see similar faces, familiar faces, and that's really helpful for me.
Now, speaking of, you know, hitting the road, I know you got a few tours coming up. Talk to us. Where can people start to, you know, connect with you live at coming up?
So the Unashamed tour is coming in October. So starting in the beginning of October, going almost 3 weeks into November. There's going to be 31 cities that we're hitting, so you can go to, is the website up yet? The Unashamed 2012? No? I think there's a website.
It's going up August 1st.
Yeah, it's going to go up August 1st. I don't know when you guys
Tickets go on sale August 1st.
But tickets go on sale August 1st, so the Unashamed tour, 31 cities. All the cities are already listed though. And so we're going to be going all around the states. That's happening in October, and then I'm going to take a little break in December. And then hopefully I'm going to release my album in January. Got pushed back to first quarter of 2013. And then right after I release the album, I'm going to go on the Rock and Road show with Mercy Me and 1,000 Foot Crutch and them. I think they added some other bands too, but then that's going to be another 6 weeks on the road. And so, yes.
Dope.
Lots of traveling coming up. So.
Lots of traveling. Are you going to be dropping stuff in between now and then? You know, maybe I know we fresh off of cartoons. Not to sound like the public is ungrateful for the music that you put out, but
they are. They are. All the work and video work and music that went out. They're like, yeah, what do you? I'm like, well, I did cartoons for you guys. Where's the more? We want more episodes. I'm like, no.
So after cartoons is the next thing that we're going to hear from you. Is that going to be the is it going to be the album?
Yeah, so I'll probably end up doing single and video work, you know, to something, and then release that a few months out from now, and then go into the album. But I love the video post-production side. I love finishing the album and then selecting songs and figure out marketing. That is like the most fun for me. So
awesome. Now, speaking of picking songs, what producers are you working with on this project?
Well, we have an A&R, Torrance Street Symphony, and he's been killing it, man. He's been a really great resource for me, helping me connect with producers. I'm connecting with Knots. I don't know if you ever heard of Knots, producer. Did stuff for 50 Cent and tons of other people. Snoop, just a beast. So I just recently connected with him. Hopefully I'll be getting stuff from him. Man, I'm hoping that we'll get a Johnny Giuliano joint on there, like an exclusive one. We're following each other on Twitter, and we're just trying to connect now to make that, happen. I'm working with JR, the Watchman, which is Whit and Alex Medina and JR. So he gave me some bangers. I'm working with Ty Shane. Ty Shane from the week 4 of Saturday Morning Cartoons. He's a monster, man, and he's real young and he's growing. So I'm working with him, and then I'm pulling in other musicians that I know are super dope. And so I'm going to start merging these already created tracks, and I'm gonna strip them down and add musical elements to it to give it kind of a more mature album finished feel. And then obviously Joseph Ferlazny from Reach Records, who's gonna go ahead and add all the strings and do all the symphonic stuff and make it sound big. So I'm excited for it the way it's coming out so far.
Sonically, what can we expect different from what we've heard from you in the past?
Right now the album is really bright, electronic sounding, and so I'm trying to now move into a little more experimental and progressive hip hop. So I think that's where I really want to head ultimately, is like a progressive sound in hip hop where the music evolves and it takes you on a journey as you listen through it, you know, not just kind of looped patterns, but you know, drum changes and instrumental changes, and I'm gonna explore a little bit more singing, and some kind of tripped out sound. So I'm trying to put good words to it, but language to it, but it's yeah, it's definitely something that I'm still working on. I think you got little tastes of it from Formerly Known and like Pressure and Every Word. I think Saturday Morning Cartoons would be a good foreshadow for what the album's gonna sound like, the way those records kind of evolved and progressed. You know, you heard it on also from Formerly Known when I did Every Word. You know, the way that song kind of evolved, and Pressure, the way that record evolved. So I think the reason my music is taking this change, where it's like you can't sit still and enjoy just a single vibe throughout the whole track, but it's going to take you on a journey, is because of kind of the way that we're kind of all being re-hardwired with the quickness, you know, arousal addictions that we're getting from internet and fast-paced, you know what I'm saying, social media, and we don't want to read more than 140 characters. Our mind is always looking for variety and variation, so my music is starting to reflect that a little bit. You know, I just want to give people the unexpected. Create, obviously, a fun, cool vibe that you can jam to, but something that'll take you on a journey. Rapzilla.com. Nope. No last words.